everyone, welcome to Lavanya Tech Vlogs. Today, let us learn how to create a form in HTML. It may be like registration form or student registration forms. In many cases, we will fill a registration form. And in the same way, let us learn how to create a HTML form. And let us get into a 𝗙𝗧𝗏 HTML. Now for this, I already created a form like HTML, and let me make some changes. Okay. Now let me go for basic.html of my previous class and just take the copy of this up to title and go back to my form.html and let me have a paste here. Okay, now doc type HTML. Now let me go back and write here as form and just do Ctrl S. As you know that now the web page title is going to be the form. Now let me enter into the head 1. I want to write it as h1. Now here let me write as creating form in HTML. Okay. Now let me close the header section. Okay. Now let me take the body. Now let us start like form action, form. Let us write it as like form. Now before this we need to write like action, form action. Now this action is going to be like whatever we are writing in the form, it is going to be like backend. Like it is going to be saved in the index.php. Let me take it like index.php. For this we need backend where a form is going to be stored, and let me make it method equal to post. This is where we keep our data safe, where we keep our data like sensitive, and we are going to put as secure. Post where we have to do, and it may be like get, it is like little bit like insensitive data, and we post is like a sensitive data. Now let me go back. Now let me start. Now here I want to take it as label. Let me just a second, let me check once. Basic.html, and let me go with okay. Now we are in form.html. Okay. Now let me start. Here now we are going to write like input type. Not just when you write like this input type, I want to take it as a text. When you do this, just do Ctrl S and go with a live server and check once what had happened. See, creating font in HTML, and we had spelled it wrong like form. Let us do these two changes. It is like form. You have to write it like form.html. Sorry. Okay. Now here there came a label, input type text. That means we are going to write some text. Okay, but what type of text and what the text I am writing for? This is some text to indicate the what type of text we are writing and why we need to write the text. Let us go to our code back and write before this, write like label, label for. It is very good to use label for. Now I want to label for username. It is like username. Okay, now just close the tag and now just go with the content like username, username. Now use this input type equal to text and let us make an id equal to, let it be the username. Now let me make it as required. Before that, maximum length, write the maximum length of the username be like 11 and let me make minimum length be like 6. Now let me write required. These are required fields like required and just close the tag. Now just do for password, same action, just repeat for password even. Now just copy these two steps, Control C and just make it as Control V and take one more time. We are going to take not only the password, we are going to take the email and we are going to take the phone number. So repeat these steps and we'll make little changes after pasting this to make our work fast. Let me take, if it's not necessary, let me change it. Okay, now see here label for username and username label. Now input type is text, username is like text and username id is username, maximum length 11 and minimum length 6 and it is required. And same thing, label for username. And here let me change into label for password, label for password. And now let me change this content also into password, let it be password. Now same thing, input type is like it is not the text, it is password. Input type is password, yes it is password. id is also even password. Now see, maximum length 11 and minimum length 6 required. Okay, let it be now. Now go back. Now see here, label for username and the next one let me change into email. Let me change this into email. Even here let me change the content into email. Email. And now see, input type equal to text. Let us change this as email. Input type equal to email. And here just now see, just to control, before that let me do input type and username maximum length. And here I forgot, just placeholder. Placeholder is nothing but which the text is going to, which is where it is going to hold the text is called as placeholder. Now let me write placeholder equal to input type equal to text, id equal to username, and where placeholder equal to, just write here as enter your name, enter your name, enter your name. Okay, very good. Now next remove this, just remove this and write here maximum length, as I said, let it be to 11. Okay, now come back Here input type equal to password, id password, and here also make it as a placeholder. Enter your password. Here also make a placeholder which type placeholder equal to, let it be, enter your password. Enter your password. Now coming to the email, and input type equal to email and id equal to email. Now let me write here placeholder. Let me write here placeholder equal to, let me write here as placeholder equal to, let me write here as placeholder equal to name 123 @gmail.com. Make some name @123 gmail.com, and here okay, and maximum length, and just I am going to remove this maximum length and minimum length here. Okay, Control S. Now just look into our, and this is how, look, creating form in HTML. It is like username where you can enter your name, username where you are going to enter your name, and this is about the password. It is saying you to, even you got here a I symbol where you can show your password, and it is asking you to please fill in this field and all, and this everything came in a row. This all are in a row. Now let me change it in a column. For that you need to go for the input. Here let me give a element called as br, that means break. Let me give a element called as break, and even here let me give element called as break. Input type for email, and this is input type placeholder equal name @gmail.com, and this is required, and let me give here one more break. Let me give it as break. Now just enter. Now I want here to give one more break. Okay, now see, now completed with the email. Now let me go with the phone number. For that you remove the label for phone number, label for phone, and this also should change into phone. And here input type text, it is not the text, so I am going to type it as telephone number, and id is going to be phone. Let me change id as phone, and this minimum length, maximum length, and all this just remove, and I want to add my phone number 3 plus 3 plus 4. For that purpose I am going to do some changes here. Input type tele, id phone, placeholder. Let me make it as a placeholder. The placeholder, how it holds placeholder. Now let me make it as 123 -456 and let it be like 7, 8, 9 and 0. Okay, now the pattern. Now let me give the pattern. Here in this pattern you can make this in this way, like taking your, you can take your box brackets and mention 0 to 9 numbers. In 0 to 9 numbers, between 0 to 9 you are going to mention it as 3 numbers. Okay, now here itself just you copy this text and just place here, and just place here 0 to 93 and 0 to 93 and one more, just give it as one more, Control V, and here you give 0 to 9, give here as 4. In this pattern you want your text placeholder. Okay, then now go back and just complete it with the password, email, phone number, and let us give a label for birthday. Label for birthday. Here let me take it as birthday, and let me take input type equal to date to enter your and let me take ID equal to birthday. Let me take ID equal to birthday, and just do the changes for excuse me what I am doing here. For phone, let me put it as phone. And this is a little bit tell, and this is where it is should be like phone. And now let me come here. I was just confused by using all this, taking multiple times. And label for, in this label for we need to mention birthday. Here mention for birthday. In the text you mention it as date. Input type mention it as date. Now here remove and mention it as birthday. Birthday. Now here also mention it as birthday. Here also mention, and remove this required, let it be required, but remove all this. Now I want to give it as break here, and even here in the phone let me give it as break. Let me give it as break even. The birthday also let me give it as, and just do Control S and check with your live server. See here, creating form in HTML, username, enter your name, please fill it. It is asking you to please fill it. See, please fill in this field, and even here please fill in this field, and here you can see in the birthday you can enter your date according to your birthday calendar, and here again username, and we are going to do changes for even this. And let me go back to the code, and this is copied. Now let us take what input label for quantify. Let us take label for quantify to enter like your age, maybe from between, wait, let me say you, let me take label for, it is called as quantify, it is called as quantify, and let me write here also quantify. We frequently use this quantify. Input type equal to number, let me take it as number. To mention your age in your round figure, I just wanted to take this and id equal to quantify, and let me take it minimum maximum length. It is not like minimum and maximum length, it is like I want to take it from minimum is 0. I want to start it from 0 and I want to go with the minimum. Minimum is let it be minimum equal to like 99. Now it is required and just do Control S and I want to mention value with 1. Value 1. I want to start it from 1. Just do Control S and go back to your live server and check it. Quantify. See here the number. Okay, now let us go back. Let us go back. Now let us change. Now let us take some different label. Now let me take for label for title. Label for title. Let me write here as title. Label for title and just change this content to be title. Oh no. And here let me change this title. It is not like a title. Let me change it like gender. Let me change this like gender. And let me move this also to be gender. Okay. Now let me go for again. Just to Control V, label for gender and remove this and make it as Mr. Make it as Mr. And here also just remove this and make it as Mr. Now here just use the input method. Input type. Input type equal to let it be radio and id equal to Mr. and let value equal to Mr. or name equal to be Mr. Value equal to Mr. and let us write name equal to gender. Now just close this and write same as this here. Copy this for one time and change nothing but change here like miss and even this and coming to the down, let us make input type. Here let us give input type equal to radio, id equal to, let me change into miss. Okay, even this miss and name equal to gender. Now just do Control S and go back to your live server and check once. And see here this came like Mr. and there was no Miss, and there are some changes. Let us see what happened here. Label for Mr., label for gender, label for Mr., input type has been mistaken here. Let me go back. Let's do Ctrl S and let us go for, here it is still Mr. only and gender is here. So let me go back and make some more changes. Go for the gender. Here let us use the break. And let me, okay, and let me remove here this break and just let us see it again in our server. Okay, now gender, and even near it was like, I think I have given here a break, and let me remove even this. Okay, now it is going to be quite set. Okay, now let us take one more type of attribute here, like select. Before that I want to talk about the topic. It's like to be like a payment method. Payment, these are some we use in our registration forms, like payment, and that also I want to use it as a label. Label for payment, label for payment. And now let us go back and close this and say here as payment method, payment. Now use here the select. Now let us use here select, and from this we will have some list of items like called as option. And let me copy even this and paste it for 3 times. Which type of payment we are going to do, let us make it. Here mention it may be like option, like one is MasterCard, and make one more change like Visa, and one more type of greeting, or let it be like gift card. Okay, now just do Ctrl S and go for your live server and check it. See, now here payment method, you have seen the payment method, it is like a drop down, MasterCard, Visa, gift card. Now let me apply break. Let me apply break here and just do Ctrl S and check with our live server. See, it has come, but there was no space between, so let me give it as one more break. Let me give it as one more break. Okay, now this is how we are going to do the payment method. And finally let me go with input type like a comment. Finally let me take as input, let me take a comment first. Let me take it as label, label for, use label for what, for comment. Let it be comment. Now write here as comment. Now choose here break again. Now label for, in here label for, let me take input type of comment to be input type. Let it be like input type equal to checkbox. I want to make it as like checkbox. And input type checkbox, okay, but let me make it like text area. First of all, let me make it like, let me remove this input type and let me write it as text area, where we can write the text. Okay, text area, and id equal to comment. What type it is? Comment. Okay, now let me put some rows equal to 3, some rows equal to 3, and let me mention like columns also. Columns came like columns equal to be like let it be like 25. Now let me close this text and do just Ctrl S and check the output. See comment, where you can write your lines here, and let me remove this. Now let us give the submit button. Finally, let us submit this by typing the input type equal to submit. Now let me submit. Now let me write input type equal to submit or login. Submit. Now before that, if any mistakes have been done while entering, let me write it as input type equal to reset. Okay, now input type equal to reset, and let me give here also the next line, so that, okay, sorry, here also you can give it. And for the label also just give one break. Okay, now almost we have done with the breaks, and just do Ctrl S and go back to your live server. Now everything is well done, but the content, let us view it in the middle. Everything is okay, but here reset and here submit. Let me do some changes even for this. And comment is, so let me remove for comment. Okay, I had been removed for comment, and let me give, just remove break for the comment, and just write here okay, just do Ctrl S and check your code again. Okay, it is well done, but let me go back, and there is an extra tag, angular tag, and now let me make my content to be center. For that, go for the body and write it as align equal to center. Just make this align equal to center, and even in the H1 align equal to center, and just do Ctrl S and go back to your live server, and see here your data has been in the middle. Now see creating form in HTML, and enter your name, and let me write it as Lavanya. Enter your username and enter your password. Let me write some. See, it has been covered. It has been covered like this. showing the icon symbol, and let me enter the phone number here, like, okay, 3, and let me give the date of birth like this. Okay, and it is going to check, and here the, let me give as, and specify the gender like Mr. or Mrs. Let me enter, and the MasterCard payment of MasterCard, let it be gift card, and write here some fewer lines, and just make it like submit, and please match the requested format. It is asking you to please match the request format. Okay, this is how our form is going to work out. Thank you. Let me write here a label for file. Let me take it as label for file. Label for file, and let me write here as file. Okay, now let me go back. Let me go back and mention input type. Input type, and let me take input type like label for file. Let it be again same thing as file, and let me go for id equal to, again same, id equal to same again like file. Now write here as accept. What type of data you are going to accept? Write here accept equal to, it is like you're having here different types like dog.jpg, dancing.gif. So let me write here like image.jpg, and let me write one more like image by gif, or image.gif. Okay, and let me close this. Let me close this. Okay, now just do Ctrl S and go back to your code, go back to your live server, and check here. Here you have got no file chosen, so choose a file. It can be taken into the downloads or images or pictures, whatever it may be, it will take you into that.